Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat, back with a 30-day Christmas card making challenge, but I've actually combined this with my Christmas in November Facebook group challenge for November, which is Bring on the Baubles. So Martin's given us a colour scheme to work with, and obviously I've brought in this extra challenge of the fact that I'm saying it's a bauble card. Okay, so I've using these, they're like plastic pieces. They're not like not as thin as like stencil material. They're a bit thicker than that. I've had them for years, and I'm just bringing it in to mask it. So it comes with like a hole in the middle where you would probably want to sort of go around it and then maybe stamp in the middle or something. But I've actually masked off the middle. Now, our colour scheme, all of the colour scheme challenges Martin's doing are sponsored by Concord and Ninth. And the Concord and Ninth colours are nectar, blueberry and eucalyptus. I don't have those Concord and Ninth colours, so I'm doing my best to sort of come up with an alternative. And my alternative is faded jeans for the blueberry, and then my eucalyptus is a mix of, you'll see it in a bit, the peel paint and peacock feathers. And then for both of those I've done them in Distress Oxides. And then for the nectar equivalent is I'm going to go with Crisp Cantaloupe, which is a Stampin' Up ink. So you'll have seen there I have inked quite heavily the round that stenciled kind of masked off shape of the bauble using the faded jeans. And now I'm going to my favourite dyes that I am completely obsessed with, and that is the Alex Siberia dyes. I just love them and I can't stop using them. I actually made another project the other day that I've not yet even photographed using them because I'm that obsessed with them. So I decided that I was going to ink up this cardstock again with the Distress Oxides. So that's the peeled paint, but you'll see here I'm just going to bring in that peacock feathers just to sort of give it a bit more of a bluey green colour, and it looks a little bit more like what I think of when I think of eucalyptus when I see the colours swatch on Martin's little card. And then because I didn't want to just do blending for the peachy colour, I have just gone direct to paper with the ink pad and given it a good swipe because I want it to be quite heavily covered. If I'd have got a cardstock, I'd have used cardstock, but I am using quite an old ink there, the Crisp Cantaloupe, one of my favourite Stampin' Up inks, but it's been retired for many years. So I'm going to run those through the die cutting machine. Sorry, on my background, I've realised I didn't tell you, I inked it up with the faded jeans, and then I splattered it with water and then mopped that up, so that kind of gave it a bleachy effect. And then I also went in with this amazing champagne shimmer ink to splatter quite heavily with that too. So I'm going to remove that mask and that washi tape as carefully as I can because it was quite sticky still. And this is me sort of like just deciding on my arrangement, and decide that, well, I might as well just go in and start sticking it down. So I stick down using my globe the foliage and stick my layered flower together. I was going to use the little flower originally, but then I changed my mind, and when I'd cut the big one I thought, well, I might as well just use the big one, and it fit perfectly because it's quite a large bauble. I added some shimmer ink just to the centre of that flower too, using my Picky tool to put it in place. And then I decided, I think I want some kind of twine or something to go with it. And I've already decided I was going to use a pre-done sentiment. So this is a waffle flower sentiment that's already stamped and die cut and stacked. And then the twine, I've gone in with this sort of like quite light coloured, it's not twine actually, it's like a wax thread. I tell you what would look really good is that linen thread that Stampin' Up do, but I don't have any left. That's going to have to go on the next time I order anything from Stampin' Up. I'm going to have to order some of that linen thread because I just love it. I hope they still do it, actually. I hope they do. I decided to raise my sentiment up with the foam adhesive, just because it's going over that kind of bow, and I love the finish to that. Now I decided it was going to go on the front of the card, and I wanted it right up against the top of the fold. It's a top folding card, but with a border on either side. I will chop off the bottom bit so that it's all the way to the bottom as well. It'll just make the card slightly shorter. But what I really wanted was to bring a little bit more shine in. There's all that beautiful shimmer and splatter, but I thought that the rose gold foiled cardstock would be perfect for this. So I just did 2 tiny slivers, perfect. And then I'll chop off the very bottom of the card, including those little bits of excess of that, and that just means that the panel goes all the way down the bottom. Now the little bit of the front that I have chopped off, I'm just going to use it on the inside to just bring that colour in, and then I got glue everywhere, and then I'm going to add the leftover flower, put a centre in, and again I'm going to go back to that shimmer ink. I don't know what I'm going to do when I've run out of that shimmer ink, but there's not much left in the bottom now. But just to add to the centre of the flower, so again it matches with the front. I did later on go and die cut another leaf just to sit on the inside. I've not got a photograph of that, but I just decided that it needed that bit of green as a pop too. So I hope you've enjoyed this. This is my 2-for-1 kind of challenge using Martin's colour scheme and obviously the bauble for the Bring On the Baubles challenge in my Facebook group. I'll pop a link to my Facebook group in the comments below. Until next time though, thank you for watching. Bye bye.